Hello, you're very welcome to Destination Newry's News Bite here on a Tuesday evening, a wet Tuesday evening, and I have to say hello to Aoife, Declan, and Lee. Before I start the news, I just want to say happy birthday, Aoife. It was your birthday on Sunday there, and you said not to mention that. So happy birthday from the three of us here, and you can tell us all about your birthday later. But first, I'm going to call out the news just before we go. The coronavirus, one coronavirus-related death was reported in the north, and that brings a total of 546. There were three more deaths reported by the Department of Health in the Republic, bringing their death total to 1,720. The total deaths on the island of Ireland is 2,266. There were 171 further deaths in the UK reported by the Department of Health, bringing its death total to 42,927. In Wales, today's figures show that there have been a total of 2,370 deaths of coronavirus in Wales by the 12th of June. In Scotland, the figures show that 2,476 patients in Scotland have died after a positive COVID-19 test. Groups of up to 6 people in Northern Ireland can meet indoors from Tuesday. The entire board of the watchdog that oversees Northern Ireland care homes have all resigned. Funding has not been signed off for the extension of free meals scheme at Monday's executive meeting. Not good news for our kids. And Prime Minister Boris Johnson has announced that pubs, cinemas and other businesses can reopen in England from the 4th of July. The Northern Ireland Executive is to discuss government plans to reduce social distancing guidelines on Thursday. Economy Minister Diane Dodds says it's no secret she wants social distancing in Northern Ireland to be relaxed from the current 2 metres. She said following the Prime Minister's announcement in England that it was being reduced to 1 metre plus, she wrote to her executive colleagues about this issue. I indicated that we too should formally review the social distance advice, she told the MLAs. But Dr. Michael McBride has said the scientific advice remains unchanged in relation to the social distancing guidelines in Northern Ireland. He acknowledged that there has been much discussion and debate around the 1 and 2 metre social distancing rules. Ministers will take on board many policies considerations and those finally balanced decisions as to the health and impact on socially distant versus the economic consequences of the current guidance of the 2 metres, he said. In Newry, Mourne and Down, there were 293 confirmed cases of coronavirus with 45 deaths. And in Banbridge, Craigavon and Armagh City, 541 confirmed cases with 81 deaths. And now the good news. Seller of 6.9 million winning lotto ticket, he was busting to share the news. The owner of the family-run service station in Cork City, where Saturday night's 6.9 million lotto ticket was sold, said he was absolutely busting to share the news, but had to keep it to himself until it was officially announced earlier today. Unfortunately, I wasn't in Cork at the weekend. So that's the short snippet of the news for this evening, and we're going to go to the lovely Aoife from Crossmaglen.
Hello.
Hello, Aoife. How are you? That's not mine. So, Aoife,
okay.
You've plenty to tell us. And you did celebrate a big birthday. You told me not to mention that, but I had to. So happy birthday from Destiny, Aoife.
Thank you very much. Yeah, so I'm going to start off with the birthday wishes. First of all, I want to say a big, huge happy birthday to Katie Murray. I think I always mention the Panto every week, but Katie is my go-to girl in the Panto. She's absolutely brilliant. I think she's 14 today, but she has been such a great girl and a great help to me. She showed great responsibility and skill and initiative throughout our 2 pantos that we've done this year. We've done one in Crossmaglen and one further down the country. And only for her, I don't know what I would have done without her. So a big happy birthday to Katie Murray. Moving on, a big happy birthday to Jimmy Fox. Jimmy, where is he? He's there, that's him. And a big happy birthday to Philip Rourke. I was talking to Philip today and I didn't even tell him I was putting this in, so hopefully he's not too mad. But happy birthday, Philip. Yeah, and another big happy birthday shout out to Padraig Moley. There's Padraig from Craigan. He's there, the tall fella. And another happy birthday to another Panto friend is Breed McBride. Her 2 girls are in the Panto as well. There's Breed in the background and her daughter Ciara. And finally, happy birthday to Packy Hannerty from Crossmaglen. So a big happy birthday from all of us in the Community Association and constituents. There's a big happy birthday too. So that's Packy. So I'm going to move on. It was my birthday during the week, and I decided that I hemmed and hawed over whether to share a photo or not, but I want to give a huge thank you to my family for having a small birthday celebration. Here they are. I think that could have been the 5th photo that was taken, because they're probably all killing each other. But yeah, I think it's just a time where we need to be so grateful for our family and thankful that we have them. It came as a great shock during the week, I'm sure, to a lot of people, that for the finding out the news, the passing of Frances Hamill from Colville. Very, very sad news. Yeah, we want to send our condolences. I think there's a picture there of Frances. There is. Shocked and devastated, of course, at the sad news of the passing of Frances, and I send out all my condolences to his family and friends. I think it was he was away abroad as well, so they're waiting for him to come home. So yeah, I just send all my condolences it's a very sad time for Frances's family. So I'm going to move on to our Volunteers Day. It's on Sunday at 7 o'clock. Obviously, due to the pandemic, we're not able to have our normal Volunteers Day that we normally have down in T. Cullen Centre in Mullaban. Beautiful grounds down there. But yeah, we're going to do it online. We're not able to be with, unfortunately, not able to be with our Patriot, the families of our Patriot dead. So we're going to do it online, and I encourage anybody to go in and watch that. You can get it through the Newry Armagh and Féin Facebook page, but I think I'll have a link to it as well up on my own Facebook page. I'm narrating it, so you get to listen to me. And our key speaker is Matt Carty, TD Matt Carty. In 2014, our keynote speaker was Bobby Story. Bobby Story, unfortunately, as well, has passed this week. Very sad news. And again, I send my condolences out to his family and friends. And he was a fellow comrade, Republican, very well-known Republican, and an iconic figure. Bobby Story, unfortunately, spent the best part of 20 years in jail. He played a huge and a very important role in the peace process, and was instrumental in taking people with him to ensure the peace process. So that's on Sunday at 7 o'clock. On a bit of happier news, I want to have a big shout out to Anton Murphy. Anton is 11 years old. He lives here on the same road as me, on the Colville Road, so he's my neighbour. And he showed great initiative on his enterprise skills over the pandemic period, and I wish him the best of luck. I was speaking to him during the week, and he knows that I was mentioning him today, so he's all very excited. So I want to wish him the very best of luck over the next coming months. Just in terms of the community association with Crossmaglen, Colville, and community associations in the surrounding area, we are continuing with our community hub with the boxes. They are coming to an end, I think, on the 26th of June. But anybody with a condition or a shielding letter from their doctor will continue to get that them food parcels. But just because it has come to the end of the community hub does not mean that we're not there. Our community association is still, and Colville is still up and going. Anybody in the South Armagh area is welcome to give us a shout. We will either signpost you on to who can help you best, or we can help you ourselves. Whether it be a food parcel or fuel or just somebody to have a chat with. And I encourage everybody to just keep an eye out for their neighbours, their family and their friends. And if they feel that they need help, don't hesitate to ring us. That's all the news. It was mixed news today, but that's all the news from Crossmaglen. And I wish everybody best of luck until next week.
Listen, Aoife, thanks a million. Again, always good to talk to you. And again, on behalf of everybody in Destination Newry, happy birthday last Sunday.
Thank you.
And we'll do this all again next week. So from Crossmaglen, we'll be going over to Whitecross to see what's happening over on that little lovely village of Whitecross. And we think we have Lee McParling there. So Lee, yeah, very welcome. I see you've got a new set of headphones, so it's good to have you on board. So Lee, tell us what's happening up your way.
I will indeed, Damien. Just like to start off again, thanking Cahill and Damien for having me back in Destination Newry again this week. After last week, with a few hiccups, a few problems with sound and all the rest, but hopefully today and from now on we'll have something working far better. First of all, I just want to talk about the football club. I've been talking about the community association and stuff here this couple of weeks, but as news has come out now and has broke that the clubs are going to start opening back up, the boys and the community and football club are working hard now this couple of days in the football club, putting up new signs around the club, just to ensure that everything's ready for the return, after some sort of normality. There's more signs, there's new sanitizers not put around the club as well for the opening of the hall and that again. It's going to take time, maybe just for the community and the club not to get used to it again. Getting back onto the field, there is restrictions in place at the minute, so there is. So we'd just like, if when the football does start back up, for people to just go by the rules, try to work with everybody, and hopefully after a week or two that things will sort of feel like they're back to normal again in around our football club. It's a big part of our community, the club there, so we just hope that everybody just obeys by these rules. The football club is also at the minute, including myself, have been doing a wee online course, and the online course is an e-learning module. Now, the e-learning module is that's the certificate you get when you pass it. Every club member or anybody that's looking to help out with the football club during the pandemic and all have to do a wee course online. It's not that hard. 20 minutes, read down through it. At the last, you get it's like a wee quiz you have to do. It's not even a test. You answer the questions on it, and if you get over 80%, I think it is, then you have your certificate there for you, so it's good to see that plenty of our underage parents have got involved with this. There's a couple of WhatsApp groups have been set up already, and the response has been brilliant, so it's great work done from the club there over the past week. The club also has the boys out in the field are getting it all ready, sanding around the training pitch and stuff, and the field is looking well, so fair play to the guys. I just want to give a few dates and stuff out for the football starting. So what I have is the seniors is planning to return to training on Tuesdays and Thursday evenings at 7:30 at 8:30, and Sunday morning from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock. So that's hopefully starting on Thursday the 25th of June. Our under 13s are on Wednesday at 7 o'clock and Saturday morning at 10:30, hopefully starting next Wednesday. We have our under 15s and under 17s as well. We have to find out times and dates yet, but hopefully by next week there'll be something in place for that there. So keep an eye out on the Facebook page as well for their times. The club is also doing Irish classes, and they were going on over the COVID-19 period through the Zoom app. But this week is the last week, and they will be resuming back now in September. So all new members to learn a bit of Irish and learn even a bit of local history there is all welcome. For more information on that, if they want to get in touch with the football club's Facebook page or get in contact with any member of the football club or anybody to do with the club, they can put you in the right direction for that. Just moving on, I want to thank Declan Murphy for the dog filing signs through the village. This couple of weeks we have had a number of complaints. I think we have a picture, Cahill, there of the dog filing signs that was got by Declan. That's them there. There's a few going to be put up around the village. What we're trying to do is we've done a lot of work in the village. We're trying to keep the place clean and tidy. So what we're asking people to do is if they take the dog out for a walk and they have to do their business, lift it and take it home and put it in the bin. We are having to put the signs up. Now, we've been in touch with Declan and the council, and we're going to try to get the bins as well in around the village for the dog filing. So at the minute, we're trying to get that sorted out. But as we say, if you take the dog out for a walk and it does its business, please lift it, take it home, put it in your own bin, and just try to keep the village nice and tidy. I just want to move on just quickly here to last week or the week before, we had done the big village cleanup. The village was looking well, but unfortunately this week, after the village has been clean and tidy, somebody just decided to dump rubbish around the village, and we'd asked the council, we've been on the council to see if they come out and lift this rubbish, but it's only starting and we don't need it in our village. So if anybody sees anybody dumping anything in around our village or making it untidy, if they get in contact with the community association, that we can pass the details on to the proper agencies that's out there and about. We are moving on here to the Big Lotto Fund. We've been awarded a few pounds from the Big Lotto, and that we're working on our way at the minute to try to see how we can split the money up for the parish and for the people in the village. So we've come to the agreement with the community association that we are going to see if we can split the money between the pensioners and the old age and the vulnerable in our village and in our parish and out and around it. So our idea is to get food vouchers and heating vouchers and to give them out to the people that the old and vulnerable and needy at the minute. Just through this tough times, people do need a bit of help, and we are lucky enough now to get the couple of pounds through from the Big Lotto Fund. So over the next week or so, we'll be trying to do it as fairly as we can to the people that needs this, and hopefully people will be glad to see a bit of it coming their way. Also, another thing is that, the same as Aoife was saying there previously, our food bank is still up and running. The parcels are still going. But she did mention that it is going up stopping on the 26th of June. But as we said, for anybody that's isolating or anybody that can't get out of the house or they don't feel like they can come out of the house, they still can get in contact with us now. For the ones that is getting the parcels that is still isolating, has their letter from it, we will still continue to leave them, deliver them to your doors and stuff. But anybody that boxes aren't or has been taken off, they still can contact the community association, and the community association will try their best to get the boxes and stuff to them as soon as we can. I'm going to move on now just to the birthdays to try to wrap this up. And I think, Cathal, you have a few pictures there of a few of the birthday wishes that I want to say this week. That's Rebecca. Rebecca's birthday's this week. Happy birthday, Rebecca. Hope you have a good one. Emer Connolly up in Drumhearth there. Emer Connolly's birthday, I think, was during the week. So happy birthday to you. And Cormac Mulligan, Cormac's birthday was this week as well. I think it was yesterday. So happy birthday, Cormac. And that's my cousin of mine, Neve McGuinness. Her birthday's last week as well. So happy birthday to you, Neve. And I have a few just hellos to say this evening. We're only starting to get them in there, but I want to say a big hello to my brother and his girlfriend over in Australia. They have been in touch, so I say they're going to have a wee watch out this evening. So I says to give them a shout out and say hello, Tony and Jess, and hope you're having a good time and enjoy yourselves. And one last one is to James Feehan over in Camlough there. He said he'll watch tonight. He has me tortured all week to give him a shout out. So how you doing, James? Enjoy your night's work. And that's about all I have at the minute for you guys. So anybody needs anything at all, give us a community association a shout, and we'll try our best to get in touch with you.
Lee, yes, I have to say, I know young Cormac very well, and I christened him Scalacci when he was down with the development squads a couple of years ago. And I don't know what age he is, but he's getting older and older, and he's a great lad. So he's a great lad. Listen, you're talking about the history of Whitecross, and I'm sure you are aware that we're having a big show here on Monday at 7:30, and Una Welsh will be talking about the history of South Armagh. Now, this will be a broad spectrum of the whole of South Armagh, and then as things go on, she'll be delving down into each individual area, and every part of South Armagh is historic. So something to look forward to, Lee.
Yeah, very good. Now, I'm looking forward to that myself now. As you said, Una's very good, very, very good.
And of course, up the road from Whitecross, you have got the burial ground up there on the left-hand side, and a very famous man is buried in there who gave up Oliver Plunkett, and I'm sure Una will be talking about that as well. So something to look forward to, and it will be a cracking show, because everybody that I've been talking to, Lee, have been saying, Una Welsh was brilliant. She was on the other night, so it's something to
Yeah,
look forward to.
yeah, she's very good, very good. Now looking forward to this. It's something good for the community of the Whitecross not to watch. Learn a bit more.
Yeah. Get them to learn and what's happening in the area. Lee, thanks a million. And now we're going to go from Whitecross down to Camlough here, and I'm going to just reach out to my neighbour here and shake hands with Declan Murphy. Hello, Declan. How are you? It's great to have you here. And Declan's in here, sitting, waiting very, very quietly down the background, Declan. So what's happening in round the village and round Bessbrook, Declan?
Okay, Damien, thanks again to you and Cal. And I'll start off with Bessbrook. I mentioned before, a couple of weeks ago, that Davy Geary was going to do a marathon around Camlough Park, and he completed that on Saturday. It was a beautiful morning to start off with. There you can see his manager, Bootsy, gearing him up with the watches and that. And it started at 8 o'clock in the morning, and there was a great wee crowd turned out just to get him going. And he had a good wee team around him, which obviously included Bootsy, his wife Rosie, Paddy Duffy, and a few other people were there as well. So he completed it within a few hours. I think it was 4 laps of Camlough Park was 1 mile. There's some of the lads that were running with him. And by the time he came to the last lap, there was a great crowd turned up to cheer him on. And those people came and went, all day just to, soak up the atmosphere, show a bit of support. It was absolutely brilliant. That was native of the Marie Curie nurses, and he raised, to date anyway, almost £7,000. So well done, Davy. Absolutely brilliant. An absolute star. Another issue I'd like to raise, and this is to do with, it's this time of year. So it depends what side of the community. Sometimes you have bonfires around the 12th. That'd be the 11th night. Other times you have bonfires around about the 9th of August, which is usually on the 8th night. So there was young fellas acquired these tires, and I think they were making their way to the Armagh Road. These are actually dumped at a brand new housing estate called Holly Ridge Lane, which is just at the beginning of the Sandringhie Road, almost near the Five Ways roundabout. So they were dumped fairly close to a house. Of course, the neighbours were all concerned, just in case somebody came down and set them on fire. They were actually too close to the house. In fairness, we contacted the council, and the council were out within hours and picked them up. And now, I presume they were on their way to the Armagh Road, and I presume that was for the 8th of August night. But what I can say to the young people, while I can understand, you want to commemorate interment, if you speak to any of the people that were interned, they will tell you, and I'm sure many ex-political prisoners would say likewise, that there's much better ways, more productive, constructive, educational ways to commemorate this particular event. Because sometimes people just don't understand what this is all about with the bonfire, and it is an environmental hazard. It creates nuisance. It does create anxiety, and sometimes there's a bit of trouble as well. So it's not the best way to commemorate this particular event. For example, if this was for the Armagh Road, I would suggest to the young people, why don't you go and find out how many people actually from your area were interned, get their names. You could even put it on a plaque in your area, or you could maybe do a small bio or a small story around each individual internee. Some of them, I presume, are not with us anymore, because that happened obviously back in 1971. Internment, I think, ended around about 76. So that's something that you can maybe consider for this August. The other thing is, and it already has been mentioned by Lee about the dog fighting, and I saw it mentioned last night on the community destination Newry. I think it was somebody from Ballyholland had said that they are having the same problems. And, this isn't the poor old dog. This is the people that own the dogs. That if you walk the dog, then you have a responsibility. If you own the dog, you have a responsibility. And the worst thing that could happen is some child, particularly if it's in a play area, lifts it up, and we all know the consequences of that. So I just appeal to people to be responsible for their own pets. The good news on the food parcels is that even though we were informed initially that they were to stop altogether on the 26th of June, the departments, and I know Carol McCullen had to take over because the minister, she's in hospital at the minute. So they have extended the food parcels to the end of July. So I think even though they sent letters out to say to people that they were to stop, I think they're going to just, an area that can continue to distribute, then they will continue on with the parcels for another wee while. And just on the issue, Lee mentioned James Feehan. James is one of the guys that has turned up every single week, maybe once or twice a week, to help with the distribution. He just fills the car to full capacity and takes parcels to people that need it. So fair play to James with that. Now, the other thing about it is, the whole thing about COVID, to some degree, we're through the storm and we're now going to have to deal with the wreckage. And, so while thankfully a lot of people survived, and hopefully we can keep the virus itself at bay. But the big issue now to deal with is obviously poverty, because, a lot of people have been put out of work. Kids are off school, people that depended at one time on, meals at school and stuff like that, they're no longer available. And, that has to be sorted out by the executive. But at least it's in the pipeline, but it needs to be signed off on. And, we need to look for funding for people to ensure that we can keep, to the best of our ability, poverty at bay. Another wee issue, and this is probably a more serious issue, but it's one that unfortunately needs mentioned because, I do a lot of work in the Bessbrook area. And one of the things, in fact, probably the biggest thing that is plaguing that area, and it is a fantastic area with lots of potential, an awful lot of new houses, a lot of new people have moved into the area. There's great work going on at the minute in Derrimore Woods, to open that up. That's going to be a great park for people to visit. The pond has been done up. There's an awful lot of potential, but one thing that's dragging it down, and that is a single criminal gang that's operating out of Bessbrook and has been for quite a number of years. This gang has been involved in all kinds of intimidating members of the community, members of their own families. It's been involved in assaults, criminal damage to property, illegal puppy farming, benefit and housing fraud, drugs, illegal weapons, and some of them are leading a lifestyle which would lead you to believe that they're living off the proceeds of crime. So we have been in contact with the PSNI. In fact, we had a meeting with them yesterday at 2:00 in the Ardmore. Met's Inspector Amanda Ford and Sergeant Graham Reynolds. I brought it to their attention. Now they're fully aware anyway, but we brought it to their attention that there is a community, a beleaguered community, living in fear of some of these people, and it's never going to be good enough for the police to expect that people are going to make statements and go to court against them. If that's what the PSNI are depending on to close this gang down, that's not going to happen, or as it's going to be a very long, difficult road. But they have other resources, available to them, and one is investigating, and they can do this between both the PSNI and the HMRC, and that's investigating people who are living off the proceeds of crime, living beyond their means, assets, without showing any sign of where they got the finances for those assets. So we're asking very, very clearly, and we're sending this clear message to that criminal gang: you will be investigated. They will get to the bottom of your activities, and you will be closed down. So this is going to be our current theme, unfortunately, until this actually is dealt with. But we're determined as community activists, as politicians, as a community, to close this down once and for all. Okay, because it's a community that has great potential and certainly doesn't need this on its doorstep. So anyhow, on to more happier issues, and this is the complete opposite. This is people who are, going beyond the call of duty to do things for their community and to build up their community. And I have to commend yet again the likes of Bootsy Fearon, Colin Fearon from Camlough, and the work that he does for the Rathcore School in Newry. They had a bit of a fireworks display last Friday night on the top of Camlough Mountain. And this Saturday, you can see the star there in the background. So they're going to change the star. So the old star is going to be taken down and a new one put up in its place. That's going to require a wee bit of help. So anybody that's available on Saturday, if they can make it, that there was taken a couple of months ago. That's actually my 10-year-old sitting at the bottom, Killian. So if anybody's about on Saturday morning, if you can meet us at the foot of Camlough Mountain, there'll be a wee bit of work for you. And it's for a very, very good cause. And again, fair play to Bootsy for organising that. Just going to round off, Damien, on the birthday wishes. So there's Ryan Connell, a young fella, his birthday is tomorrow. Ryan is in Australia at the minute. That's him with a niece of mine, Blaine Hughes. They're engaged. And also JJ McNulty. JJ is from the foot of the mountain in Camlough. And JJ's birthday, I think, is on Thursday of this week. Although I haven't got photographs of these two characters, but there's Paul Lynch from John F. Kennedy Park had his 50th a couple of days ago, and that's JJ McNulty there. And Carl McGrath from Camlough also. I'm not too sure what his Carl is, but it's his birthday this week as well. So happy birthday to everybody, and thanks again, lads, and looking forward to seeing you all again on this.
We did mention Carl last night. I think Carl's in the low 70s. That's as much as I say about that. Oh yeah,
yeah.
And he's working away.
Yeah, I didn't think he was that age at all.
He's working away, and of course, then his dad, long-standing councillor in the Newry area as well. Another great story. And I asked Carl, would he come on and talk about it? And of course, Carl says no, but maybe some of his relations will. So maybe we'll get that one. So Declan, listen, thanks a million. A great roundup there, and let's hope that the antisocial thing is sorted out in Bessbrook, because Bessbrook is a wonderful village and there's great people there, and it's pulling the area down. So you're doing great work there. Thanks a million. And we'll do this all again next week. But before I go, I have a very special wedding anniversary to mention, and I hope Cahill has the picture here. So a very, very special 30th anniversary to Marie and Anthony McCardle there along the Flagstaff. Anthony comes from what we would call the Ella House Corner, and Marie comes from Moneymore. And it's not a great time for Marie because her mum passed away with COVID-19, and Marie didn't really get to see her. But hopefully she will enjoy her day. And of course, her daughter Sarah made that lovely cake, cooked it, and made it all up. And today, 30 years ago, I was at it. And it's hard to believe that was 30 years. So happy anniversary to Marie and Anthony McCardle. And thanks to Lee and Aoife and Declan, and of course, Cahill in the background for all the good work. But don't forget, on Monday night at 7:30, we will be hosting the legendary Una Walsh, the historian, who will be telling us a broad aspect of South Armagh. And when you delve down into this, South Armagh is a wonderful place with history. And it's scary when you think about it. I met a girl today in the shop and she said, I watched it the other night and it was brilliant. Una is a fabulous woman. So it's something to look forward. And of course, you can follow it on Destination Newry. It starts at 7:30 on Monday evening. And I can tell you, it's a show not to be missed. And we'll do community news tomorrow evening again. So thanks a million for tuning in.